It's been requested for a very, very long time that I would try to do some type of either fairy tale content or folklore stories. And I thought, isn't this a great time to get into sharing some of my native country's folklore, which is Sweden. Sweden is a part of Scandinavia, and we do have some of our own folklore and tales, and some which are shared with the other Scandinavian and Nordic countries. This is the first time I am trying out this type of content. I'm having my list with information next to me, so I really hope to get some feedback on this new project of mine. This will be my first part of creating Swedish mythological folklore tales here on my channel. Here in Sweden we call our folklore creatures Vaesen, and we're gonna start off today with the one probably most known, which is called Näcken. Näck means somewhere between naked and bathing naked in my native language of Swedish. I used a small disclaimer. Most of the Scandinavian countries do have similar stories and folk tales. A Vaesen that I mentioned to be Swedish can also be part of Norwegian, Icelandic, Danish or Finnish folklore. I just happened to go through the popular tales of my country in this series. Sweden has a lot of stories of Vaesen and creatures surrounding its nature. Sweden is still today covered in around 70% of dense forest of the whole country. The folklore of Näcken dates back to fornnordisk tid, which is Old Norse in history and its name in Swedish. Between the year 700 and 1500. Within these periods of time, Sweden is experiencing both the era of Viking and its medieval time, which was later in history than in the rest of Europe. So this tale of this Vaesen or creature goes back way in time in my country. Näcken might be the one, if not the most known of and famous Swedish Vaesen or mythological spirits. Näcken is a male mythological water spirit described to take the shape of a handsome naked man with long raven black hair sitting by either a pond, a lake or a river playing a violin. As a skilled musician, Näcken uses the music of his violin to lure victims, most often women and children, to trap and drown the victim in the water he sits by. Depending on which part of the country you're from, the characteristics of Näcken is described in different ways. A key characteristic of the male water spirit is his ability to shape-shift, being able to lure victims down to the dangerous waters in the shape of maybe an expensive piece of jewelry or as a white horse. The tales of Näcken would often tell how he shapeshifted into what the person was desiring. The Swedish folklore of the water spirit of Näcken is often believed to warn women and children about the dangers of water and the potential of drowning, especially in smaller water masses like ponds and lakes. The mythological creature Näcken is resembling of other types of water nymphs in different folk tales across the world. There are ways to protect yourself from Näcken in old folklore tales. The two most common described ways is to either throw a rock in the water to scare off a Näcken, or to learn how to swim. If you're able to swim, then a Näcken can't drag you down the water to drown you. The most iconic depiction of Näcken in Sweden, and contributing to the country's view of the water spirit, is the artwork from 1884 by the artist Ernst Josefsson called Strömkarlen. The artwork depicts the mythological creature as a handsome young man and his violin sitting next to the rapids with seaweed in its hair. In the other Scandinavian countries, the depictions of Näcken is darker and more demonic than in Swedish folklore. The folklore of Näcken is mostly mentioned in the countries Sweden and Norway. I watched a lot of artworks surrounding Näcken from Norwegian folktales, and it's a lot darker and a lot more demonic. He looks like this creepy character that would just lure you with his music and not his handsome looks. And in the artwork I showed you, the Swedish depiction of Näcken had blonde hair, but it's mostly known that he has a raven black hair. This is a story I got scared with as a child to not enter waters while playing, since I was in the age that I could not swim. I think this is still used a lot today to scare kids not to go near water in a lot of parts of Sweden. As a child, it was hard to imagine that it was something else than just this old man, naked man by the water, and it sounded so creepy you didn't want to go near it. But making it this handsome young man, maybe women would be attracted to that in the past years of history. I really do hope you enjoy this